Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to bask in unprecedented glory, because today we're going to be commencing episode 8 of Eating My Way to Optimal Health as a former raw vegan. So as you guys unequivocally know, in this series I consume fruits and vegetables, and I elucidate the profound benefits appertaining to eating said foods. The only healthy food categories encompass fruits and vegetables. You should desist, refrain, and eschew any other type of food, such as whole grains, refined grains, and synthetic, bastardized, adulterated, man-made artificial products, which have a deleterious, detrimental effect against your overall health and well-being and mortality. So, without further ado, without further procrastination, without further delay, let's inject some epicness into this episode. And before we do so, I want to go on a little digression. I haven't eaten now for close to 36 hours. It's nearly been a day and a half, and I haven't been able to do so due to my work schedule. It's been encroaching on my circadian rhythm, to say the least. Working the night shift demonstrates unrequited brutality to your vessel and imperils you, to say the least. It encroaches on your circadian rhythm. It causes your DNA to become further ravaged and unravels your chromosomes. It shortens your telomeres and impairs your immune system, and it mucks up, it skews your sleep schedule. So by the time you get up, businesses are shut down, people are in the midst of snoozing, and you cannot contact them because you'll disturb their slumber. Furthermore, you can't attend appointments, seminars, courses, whatever you need to do, because the business world does not operate amid the hours of twilight. It's open during the morning and during the day, and if you're sleeping during these time periods, then you forgo a multitude of opportunities, to say the least. So I made one modification to the diet, or to the meal, I should say. Added in a pear. Unfortunately, due to severe time constraints and pressed for time, my window to eat, my eating window, is now confined to a 16-hour period at most, because I have to show up to the night shift later tonight. So I prefer to have 18 to 20 hours to eat in a row, incessantly non-stop, so that way it could revitalize my health. But that won't be the case in this context today. At this juncture, I have less than 16 hours to eat. So these tomatoes will serve as my organic sunblock. We're going to real briefly discuss the benefits of tomatoes. Tomatoes contain lycopene, as you guys know, and lectins, as well as a myriad of other innate natural ingredients that are found in organic foods. It's a nightshade fruit, so it can only grow when enshrouded in darkness and when covered in a veil of darkness. But the lycopene helps you mitigate the deleterious effects appertaining to your epidermis being exposed to ultraviolet radiation by 30%. So if you want a form of natural, safe, organic sunblock, then I recommend and endorse and advocate eating tomatoes. Tomatoes contain roughly 30 calories in them each. Now I want to also delve a little more in depth about the tomatoes. Bear with me one brief moment. Let's look up some of the health benefits appertaining to consuming tomatoes and assimilating tomatoes into your vessel. Now obviously, as you guys know, they're chock full of antioxidants, phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals, micronutrients, but they also contain vitamin C, potassium, folate, and vitamin K. And of course they help stave off heart disease, and they help minimize your risk of succumbing to any form of cancer. So they also provide a myriad of other benefits that I neglected to mention. Beyond abating the formation of chronic diseases. So they safeguard the heart, they attenuate the effects of smoking cigarettes, they augment your visual prowess, they aid the digestive system, they lower hypertension, they help regulate diabetes, they enhance the health of your epidermis, they prevent urinary tract infections, they prevent gallstones. And if you have them as organic tomatoes as opposed to non-organic tomatoes, then they allegedly are now sprayed in nitrogen-rich fertilizers. Or they're not grown from nitrogen-rich fertilizers. Oh, fertilizers constitute a spray. I was right. I miscorrected myself. I thought fertilizer refers to the soil, but it could be a spray as well. So I guess you learn something new every day. Let's just check something real quick. We're really pressed for time. I'm going to have to eat now. Last time I didn't get to eat everything I wanted to. So it's quite a shame, quite it is what it is. Now, as you guys unequivocally know, I eat the rest off camera. Sorry about the faux pas, sorry about the blunder, not off camera. I'm eminently fatigued. I meant to say eat the rest off the YouTube video, meaning I eat the rest on the live stream. And the video is short in length, and it's advertently short in length because YouTube restricts me for most of my channels to a 15-minute time limit, and if I go beyond that threshold, then it preempts me from uploading the video. Furthermore, I only have a finite amount of space. I don't want these episodes to be protracted and prolonged and ongoing in perpetuity. I want them to be short, concise, and succinct, and I already rant and rave and pat along long enough. So let's just shove this cauliflower down my gullet. It'll be ingested and digested, and then I'll wind up discharging it. So everything that enters a vessel as a food gets excreted and discharged. Do not let your vessel be a repository for waste. Make sure that your hydrochloric acid in your stomach is acidic, so that way your stomach can disintegrate anything that's entered into it. You don't want animal carcasses or animal secretions or other deadly ingredients and deadly foods to be lodged in your stomach. The cauliflower is undoubtedly scrumptious and succulent. It has a mild flavor. People may deem it to be a bit bitter, but I certainly don't. It's sensational. It stimulates my palate. I get my stimuli by eating my fruits and vegetables. What could be more riveting? What could be more captivating? And what could be dazzle me more than shoving cauliflower down my gullet? You know, it's truly a sensational experience beyond words. The only word that I could utilize to give this taste justice, to vindicate the epicness of this taste, is ineffable, because this taste is inexplicable and beyond the parameters of explanation. So I eat foods characterized by high levels of alkalinity that leave an alkaline residue in the body, that have a low glycemic load. The glycemic load is dispersed from the glycemic index. Eat foods that are low in the glycemic load. Do not assess whether or not you should consume a food based on its ranking in the glycemic index. See how it impacts your health post being digested, not when it's initially entered into the chewing apparatus, aka your mouth. So these were frozen. They've been submerged in water to thaw out. I love the cauliflower florets and the broccoli florets. And in stark contrast to broccoli, cauliflower is now protein dense. 2 of the amino acids in protein allegedly and ostensibly shorten your telomeres. They both begin as L. There's the first one, leucine, and there's the second one, leucine, something like that. Lysine and leucine, I don't know, you could verify that for yourself. Two of those amino acids have been shown by the evidence-based research findings to shorten your telomeres. And if that's the case, then eating any type of food could imperil you in that facet. But studies have also shown that your telomeres can be relengthened with sleep, exercise, and with eating fruits and vegetables. So you could counterbalance or counteract or perhaps negate the effects of telomere shortening if you're doing everything in your power to relengthen and elongate your telomeres. The telomeres are on the end chromosomes, and further ravaged they are, the more ravaged your DNA will become, because those telomeres are needed for your DNA to properly repair itself. And when your DNA cannot repair itself optimally, then not only will you age at an accelerated rate, which is what aging is, DNA damage, but mutations will transpire. And as you guys unequivocally know, we're devolved beings, and anytime a mutation transpires, we lose genetic information, which is deadly. A mutation can never ever augment any species. It's deadly, detrimental, and impinges on your overall health. You've got to look at your DNA like a book. Anytime a mutation transpires, you rip out a chapter in the book, and you can never add to the book with a mutation. It always lessens you rather than augments you. So mutations are deadly, and we're inferior in every facet relative to our ancestors who had the original genome. We have a bastardized version of the genome as we devolved over time from losing genetic information by making adverse, asinine decisions, such as eating other species, aka animal carcasses and animal secretions, which cause us to succumb to mutations, which ultimately mutilate and ravage our body, because we're losing our foundation, we're losing our innate program, aka our genetic code, because it's becoming decimated from those mutations. I'm fletcherizing every bite. I'm letting my enzymes, coupled with some plant-based enzymes, break down the cauliflower. Sorry, let's say them more cohesively. I'm allowing my enzymes, coupled with some plant-based enzymes embedded in the cauliflower, to break down the cauliflower so that it's easier to digest. It's being ingested now, and then it's going to be digested. And of course, there's less of a strain on your vessel if you're not poaching, steaming, cooking, baking, anything, because when you cook anything beyond 103 degrees Fahrenheit, you're decimating the enzymes, and you need those enzymes to break down the food. You don't want to deplete your body's enzymes to break down your fruits and vegetables. Outsource the work to the plant-based enzymes, and to not compromise the structural integrity of your food, nor mutilate your food or mutate it. Don't cook it. It's not meant to be cooked. There's no microwaves, ovens, stoves, or extreme heat from technologies in nature. So I have to end this episode abruptly. I'm gonna have to eat the rest on the live stream. The video is about to end. The time window to record the video is about to elapse. Hopefully you found this content to be enthralling and insightful. Eat fruits and vegetables to optimize your health, and revel in every bite, relish every moment, and maximize the nutritional value of your food by reframing from cooking it. Do not cook your food. So we have okra, cauliflower, broccoli, tomatoes, marzipan, yellow squash, Brussels sprouts, and of course the modification I made to the meal was I added in a pear, but the pear is relegated to the refrigerator, and that will help retard oxidation. So do not allow your food to oxidize nor succumb to free radical damage. Make sure that it's safeguarded in its skin to protect its meat from being oxidized and becoming sullied and marred and beginning to brownen. So the tomato will remain in the refrigerator until I consume some vegetables and the more acidic fruits, which really leave an alkaline residue in the body post being digested. So I hope that you found episode 8 of Eating My Way to Optimal Health as a former raw vegan to be enthralling and enchanting. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.